Hello, Osman Snako here with another figure review. Today we have got the DC Deathstroke Collectables New 52 Deathstroke. What can I say about this character? I do like Deathstroke as a character, and I think he's very, very cool, very badass. Loving him in Arrow right now. Very, very, very epically cool. And I got this guy on a trade, on a bit of a whim, from someone who wanted something off of me. So I was quite happy to get this guy in the circumstances how it happened. Having him in hand, like most DC Directables, I love the sculpt. I despise the articulation, although he is definitely quite a few steps up from the rest. So let's go over him. He has got a ton of detail sculpted throughout the entire body. He comes with 3 accessories: his sword, his pistol, and his knife. So let's go over them now. We'll start with the pistol. As you can see, it just clips into there. And it is very nice. To me, it looks like a modified Beretta I can remember, M9F2 I think it's called. Slightly with a big old box on the front here. Come focus. There we go. It's very cool. Not the greatest at holding it, if I'm honest. He doesn't seem to like to hold it that well. Next up, we have got his knife. His knife is also very badass. It's kind of cool. It's missing this big old chunk here, which would really do some damage when you stab someone and pull that out. Very cool. Nice silver handle, but black throughout. And then finally, we have his sword. Sword is very nice. It's quite a thick sword though. Should have been thinner in my opinion, but it does look very, very nice. Nice shine to it. Lots of scratches and scrapes to it. Yeah, battle damage. It's got a nice grey, metallic grey handle, and it's a nice silver throughout. So very, very well sculpted. So those are his 3 accessories. And as you saw, the gun clips out from his little holster there. He can hold it in either hand. This one, now as I said, this is actually like handed down. So I've even been in contact with the person who had him before the person I got it from. So this is like a third off hand down. So he does hold the gun okay, but in my opinion, it's not the best grip. But as for the other blades, both very loose. He can hold it, but that's very loose on there. Same for the sword, very loose. You have to kind of angle it. I think what I might do is heat this up and try and close it a bit, and just use this hand primarily for his gun and this hand just for his weapons. So that's a bit disappointing that it's a bit loose, but like I said, this is the I'm the third person to own this figure, so but I don't mind. The guys, I know the guys well, and they're good guys. They've not been mistreating it. It's just as they've been posing it, you can see it's just things have got a bit warped. That's what happens with figures. But to put these things back, they fit in very nice. Pistol just clips in there quite nicely. And the knife, this is actually a soft rubber, this, so, but to get it in, you need to kind of put the leg forward or back. That goes all the way down. The pistol, unfortunately, it will pop off easily if you catch it. Same for the sword. The sword, you can see his back, it's got this like T, and if you look in the sword, there's also like a teacup. So it very simply clips on there. There's no sheath or nothing, and it just clips on, and it's fine, and it stays there well. See, his pistol fell off, but his sword didn't. But a slight little knock, like when you're posing him, and it comes flying off. So just bearing that in mind when you're posing him around, the sword will probably more than likely fall off. So now we've gone over accessories, let's go over his detail. His head is actually really, really nice. Now, a lot of people gripe about the way they look in this incarnation of the New 52. I really like how he looks. I think he looks very cool, very badass, and not like a bit stupid. I know it's not stupid, it's the wrong word, but in the classic comics he's got a very spandex look and everything's just like spandex, so I don't like that. There's armor look, which first kind of appeared in like Arkham, I think, maybe. I don't know where it first came off, but it looks very cool. His as you can see, he's got like a helmet almost, and the actual black and orange are slightly raised. He has the one red eye and then blacked out eye on the other side. Got a blue chin line which matches the rest of the head and the neck. Some nice shoulder plates which are on hinges, so they can go up to get out of the way for articulation. A little backpack thing. Not very big at all. These grenades and things, which are a softer rubber piece from the backpack, and then he's got a belt full of grenades and pockets and so forth. He's got a nice scale top, very classic looking, on his actual chest. And then his no real texture to his biceps. They're very square cut. That's one thing I noticed about him. His biceps are very square cut. I don't know if that's because he's supposedly wearing armour under all this or what, but like I said, very square. It's got elbow pads there, and then see, sword fell off. Then his gauntlets are very Batman-esque in the sense that he's got these little wingtips, but they do very, very cool. They look very nice. They're also just like bronzy orange. He's got these sculpted lines going down here on his legs, and then he's got these pockets, these holsters kind of attached here on both legs. The knee pads. He's got some really nicely spiked boots. The colour scheme is really nice. It's very kind of like a plaid, kind of almost like a dull blue for his biceps and his legs. And he's got this nice kind of it's like a grey blue for the lines going throughout, and then like a metallic dull grey for like this, his like boots, if you will. All in all, I think the sculpt on this guy is phenomenal. I do think it's really good, but that's one thing you can never really complain about with DC Direct figures. They always are sculpted really nicely. Whoops. One thing I will say is when I'm trying to stand him up and putting pressure on his feet to keep him flat, them shoes are spiky. There we go. Okay, so let's put this sword back on. Let's do size comparison. Oh. I don't actually have a DC Direct figure I've got besides the Arkham ones. There's a Nightwing. He stands to the top of his head just shy of 7 inches. To the top of his sword, 7 3/4. Like I said, the only DC Direct figure I've got is Nightwing, but he's old and I got him off eBay cheap and someone's glued his knees. Not me this time. So that's another Direct. A few other figures. Here's some Marvel Legends. Carnage minus head because he's kind of in the process of being a custom. But it's the Bucky cap mold, so you'll get the general drift. So you can see he's a nice size, he's a good size. Too tall for Marvel Legends, but he's a good size for DC Direct. Now his articulation is actually really good. His head is on a ball, and so it can go back that far and down that far, and it can rotate 360 degrees around, but mind the collar. The collar is a slightly softer plastic, but not much. Like it definitely, like you can see there's a different, his neck and his chest are 2 different pieces. The shoulders can go out that much, and they can go around 360 if you can go past the shoulder pads. The biceps can rotate 360 degree around, so you can hear that nice and crunchy. And he has an elbow cut of just that, so 90 degrees. He has a glove cut of 360 degrees, but that's it. Nothing in the torso, nothing in the waist. No waist cuts. He has direct hips, so he can go forward that far. That's his Spartan. And back that far. No outward motions, it's just dropping weapons. Like I said, these two, they will just fall off. He has a thigh cut just below this strap here. Full 360 degrees. There's a single bend in the knee, which is actually quite a nice bend. Not quite 90, but just there. And then he actually has an ankle point, which is quite rare. So from there to there, no pivot. But it's nice that they added that. So, like I said, all in all, my overall thoughts about this figure, I think he's a good figure. I think he's a great DC Direct figure, and I'm very, very happy to have him. I will be customizing him, though, and I'm going to make him into a Deathstroke, but I'm going to be taking bits from him and making a custom one. Anyway guys, that's my review. Not much more else I can really say. I hope you guys liked it. As per usual though, please leave any comments below. Please subscribe and I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.